Hello everyone, welcome back to Pommy and Oz. I hope we're all doing really well. If you are new around here, please drop a like, please drop a subscribe. It does mean the world to me, it really helps the channel keep going. And if you are a returning Pommy and Ozzer, I wonder if that is an actual thing. Let's get that going. Pommy and Ozzers, welcome back to you. It's a pleasure for you to join me. And what we're doing today is we're going to look at Carlton versus the Eagles, 3:20 at the SCG. And it's an intriguing game for Carlton, isn't it? Really, it's another side that, you know, we're playing that are a final side. There's a few backstories as well that kind of make this game, you would think, a little bit more winnable for Carlton. We know that there is a plethora of outs for the Eagles. They've lost Archie, Jones has been omitted, obviously Brander, Kennedy, Allen and Kelly. It's a weakened side, definitely. And Carlton, you can see we've gone in with a niche for pace. But looking at the Eagles side, it is definitely a side that is suffering probably from a lack of injection, a lack of spread. It's going to be an intriguing game because we know that it's quite weird. I think when Carlton come against sides like the Eagles, who are a very ball retentive side, they really do look to utilise their short stab kicks, and they're very good at opening space around the ground and also causing defensive and midfield sides that start their pressure chains there and really look to lock down the game and look to control the footy to kind of come out of position, because the way that they move the ball, it's very unique to the AFL in a way, that they really do look for them little short kicks laterally and also looking more along horizontally across the ground. And that kind of really does make you have to be disciplined against the Eagles. I know that looking at this game on paper, yes, Carlton are favourites, and probably rightly so. You know, the history of the SCG hasn't been great for the Eagles. And obviously, you know, away from home, they aren't obviously as strong as they are at the Optus Oval. But having said that, I do think when you look at these sides, paper is a wonderful thing, but reality is another thing. And it's going to be a real intriguing battle, that I think, especially, you know, the fact that they've still got some very good users when you look through their midfield. We know Gaff, we know Sheed, they are very, very efficient players, and they really are good vital cogs there. It's an interesting one, though, because I think that when you look at the forward line of Carlton, that we're going in here, Jackie Martin, Mackay, Owies, Silvani, De Koning, Eddie Betts, obviously, and then you've got, you know, Fisher will float through there as well. I'd imagine to see, you know, Murph and Paddy Dow as well roam across the half forward at some point. Against their backline of Shepherd, Edwards, Nelson, Cole, Barras and Hearn. It's going to be an intriguing battle there, because what we do know that they've got a very good users down there against ours. However, they also are kind of a bit small, a bit undersized, so you're really going to be looking for that crumbing aesthetic for them. That's how they're going to hurt us on transition. They're a very, very clever transition side, and what you find as well with their backline there is that they have this uncanny ability to really use quick kicking and then really open up that middle of the ground. That's what they're going to be doing. You know, their midfield, they really do spread from the contest well, and then that leaves that corridor with a little bit more vacation, a little bit more space, and that's what they're going to be doing. So it's going to be really interesting here that you know that Harry is going to be the key target for us. You know that what we're going to be planning to do is either take that mark, but if not, bring that down to our talented, crafty Smalls there. But that also plays into how Eagles like to move their ball from the back line. It's going to be a real interesting that the forward pressure has to be really high here for Carlton. Has to be really, really high. And if they're not quite on, that is where you're going to see this transition. And we know our susceptibility to transition. We have ranked bottom 2 in transition defence for the last couple of years, so it's going to be interesting there. The midfield, though, is obviously, even with all these outs, it's still a very strong department. You've got your Natanuis there, you've got your Reddens, Gaff, Sheeds, Elliot Yos as well, and you think that obviously Pitternet is going to go one-on-one with Nick Nat. Now, the issue there we've got is that Nick Nat does his greatest work around the ground. He's a big body. Then midfielders, if they get a little bit of hand on it, They're probably lacking that quick run. It's a bit more like the Eagles a couple of years ago at the moment, with no Kelly there. They're going to be looking to spread this play and really control the footy. Now, Carlton have really got to step up here. And I'll be looking to players like Cripps. I'll be looking at Walsh. And I think here you're going to be really looking at Sam Docherty and Cottrell, what they do on the wings. It's going to be interesting here because it's going to be who can spread from that contest a little bit quicker. It's going to be really here as well, that susceptibility to that corridor kick. You're really looking at your Crippses, you're really looking at your Colonels to stay tight to their men and really lock up that area, because that is an area there that the Eagles will look to exploit. We're going to be looking to get it on the wide and try and use them pace, use them good players. We're going to try to get Adam Sard, I think, Zach Williams to really overlap Doc and Cottrell, and really I would be looking at Doc and Cottrell maybe staying a little bit back, kind of playing that old wing-back role in soccer that you see, where Sard and Williams will be allowed to roam a little bit forward when we have the ball and then kind of drop in and fill in and really look for a defensive set. And then we go into, obviously, Carlton's back line, their forward line. And this is, for me, it's going to be really intriguing. It's really intriguing because they've lacked the tolls the Eagles do this year, but that quick ball movement also plays into their small hands. And I think that that's going to be really intriguing. We're going to be looking there. Their dangerous line, you know, there of Petruccelli and Liam Ryan with Darling's there tall. He'll be looking to bring that down. That's what Darling does. He plays that reserve role, really. And I think it's going to be a really intriguing battle there. Because Jake Waterman, he's going to be that kind of big centrifugal target. And they'll be looking to bring that down. You've got Zach Langdon there as well. Very clever, crafty footballer. We know we've got Edwards and Neil in there as well. O'Neill, very young players. But they'll be looking to really work that down. And that is where we're going to be looking at Stocker, Newman, Williams and Sard. It's a strong backline there. I think Liam Jones and Wheatering are going to be okay. Already against their two tolls, I think it'll be a no-brainer how that matches up. But it's going to be interesting when this ball hits the deck, because you're going to be locked in two places. If Carlton start using that tentative ball out to the wing, you're really playing into how the midfield works there. It's almost like they really do lock down, almost like a brick wall line. So Carlton are going to be looking to play this way out. And I think that the way you want to do this is run the risk of playing to their strengths. They're very pressure-based. They love it. I think Jamie Cripps, he's listed on the wing, but I would expect him to be in there. Very high pressure forward. They're going to be under the cosh when the ball hits the ground. It's going to be how they utilise, I think, the handball will be key here. How they look at the handball, open up the angles, particularly Sard and Williams. They like to take the ball on the run and come into the corridor in that run, coming from the flank. And I think that that's going to be where we can hurt them. It's going to be a really intriguing battle there in that area. I think that that is where Carlton will be looking for that strength. We know historically when we play this side, it's always going to be a tough game. We know last time out that Carlton played them, we lost by 22. Remember Zach Fisher though, he did have a field day, didn't he? He really did enjoy it when the last time he came back. 4 goals that day. And I think that that's where Fisher as well here on the wing. We keep talking about the wing. I think him coming from that wing position, trying to find it. If we can get him with 20 touches, maybe a couple of goals, Carlton do stand a chance. The one thing I would say is be wary of that system. The system at the Eagles is very strong, and the system there is, even under pressure, it does stack up over the test of time. I know there's the talk about away from home. You've got to remember we're away from home as well. And the games that people look at away from home, there's always a home side. Here both aren't. It's going to be very interesting though, because if Carlton can play the way that we know, particularly that we see for 2 quarters, Carlton should win this. My reservation is, can they hold it? Can they hold it? Because the Eagles will get the flow of the ball. Their game plan dictates that every so often that they get the flow of the ball. And it's going to be scoreboard pressure, and it's going to be interesting to see, psychology-wise, how Eagles know Carlton can be 5 goals behind and they still can get back. It's also going to be interesting how that affects Carlton. If they don't take their chances, they don't start scoring goals, they know they need that 5-goal margin to really pressure the game out. And psychologically will be there. I'm going to think, though, that Carlton should be able to win this. I'm backing Carlton in with no degree of confidence, but that's just the PTSD setting in. But I think that they should have enough. It's going to be an intriguing game though, because if they lose this game, we're going to learn a lot about this side. But this is that crunch game. They have to win this. The pressure is on Carlton in this one because Eagles have that cop out there of they are missing 90% of their key players for their structure to work. So it's going to be intriguing. If Carlton lose this, I'll be asking a lot of questions as well as everyone else. That's the preview then. Let me know what you think. Are you going in this with any degree of confidence? What are you looking out for? Let me know in the comments. I look forward to catching up with you soon. See you on the live in Blue Abroad. Pom out.